Welcome to Season 2 of the Calorie Conundrum podcast with Coach Strick.
Welcome to the Calorie Conundrum podcast with Coach Strick. Join us as we expand the weight loss conversation to beyond just calories and dare to ask the question, why does eating less and exercising more sometimes not produce the desired results? Here's Coach Strick to discuss this Calorie Conundrum.
Hello and welcome to Season 2 of the Calorie Conundrum podcast. This is Coach Strick, and in this episode we will discuss the mission, vision, and core values of the podcast. If you have listened to episode 1, you have heard the backstory of how and why I started the podcast, but today I wanted to discuss some of the driving forces behind it. First, let's look at the mission. The mission of the Calorie Conundrum podcast is to expand the weight loss conversation beyond just calories. There are limited sources available today that are shedding light on the problems with the traditional weight loss mentality. And it is the goal of the Calorie Conundrum podcast to increase the awareness of these issues. If you are struggling to lose weight or to increase your health or vitality, then having awareness of the things holding you back is the first step. Sadly, for most people in today's society, the only answer if weight loss is the goal is to eat less and exercise more. These are only two of the variables that affect health and weight, and that is why the mission of the Calorie Conundrum podcast is to expand the weight loss conversation beyond just calories. Next, let's look at the vision for the Calorie Conundrum podcast and how we hope to impact the future. Our vision is to inspire individuals to take ownership of their body and mind and accept the responsibility to improve their health and live their potential. One of the biggest problems I see in today's culture is that we are always looking to others for answers, or we try to point the finger and place the blame on someone else. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't seek counsel or advice on important areas in your life, or that we should become apathetic to unjust and wrong things, but when it comes to your body, no one, no matter how smart or how many degrees they have, knows your body better than you do. The Calorie Conundrum podcast hopes to inspire you to take charge of your own health, and in doing so, inspire others to do the same. Now let's look at our core values. Our first core value is to offer new ideas and ways of thinking. Albert Einstein once said, "Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results." The same can be said for ways of thinking. If you continue to think a certain way, and you are not getting results, maybe the way you are thinking is wrong. We interview experts in different areas of health with diverse experiences, and they share their new ideas and ways of thinking. The next core value is question everything. Along the lines of the previous core value, we must always be questioning to get a fuller, more holistic look at the situation we are facing. It is especially important to question what we believe to be true. The first two core values are each a component of the next core value, which is to be on a constant search for truth. Whenever we believe we know something to be true, we put ourselves in a metaphorical box and automatically limit possibilities. Having an open mind and potentially going against the grain are important assets in the constant search for truth. The last and arguably most important core value is respect for the individual. Everyone is different, and a diet that works for one person can make another sick. And ultimately, it is what works for the individual that matters, not what works for the average person. So once again, our mission is to expand the weight loss conversation beyond just calories. Our vision is to inspire individuals to take ownership of their body and mind and accept the responsibility to improve their health and live their potential. And our core values are: offer new ideas and ways of thinking, question everything, be on a constant search for truth, and respect for the individual. I'm excited for Season 2 of the Calorie Conundrum podcast as we have some excellent guests lined up, and we will be talking about many different aspects of health and weight loss in the coming weeks. If you feel aligned with the mission, vision, and core values of the Calorie Conundrum podcast, follow us on social media, at Calorie Conundrum on Facebook, and at CalorieCon, Calorie C-O-N, on Instagram and Twitter. And with that said, this is Coach Strick saying thanks for listening, and remember, when calories in, calories out doesn't work, that, my friend, is a calorie conundrum.
This podcast, including Coach Strick and guests, disclaim responsibility for any possible adverse effects for the use of any information contained herein. Coach Strick and/or guests may recommend products or services in which they have a direct or indirect financial interest. To find out more, please visit www.calorieconundrum.com.